Hello there. I am Jaime Elizondo from Real World Ranching, and I am happy you're here. You can hear me out. I have something very interesting to say to you because, as you know, I want you to achieve the maximum productivity while you improve your land the fastest. But today, I want to share with you the achievements of a student who started applying this online program 3 years ago. He is in Mena, Arkansas. You may be wondering, how is it that such huge improvements can be achieved with an online course? Or maybe it's hard to believe that we can achieve such great results at a low cost without chemical fertilizers. So this is exactly what I'm going to share with you. The results of the Robbin Ranch in Mena, Arkansas. You can also see this with pictures on my Facebook page under Real World Ranch in Facebook. Okay. Matt and Mark Robbins have applied very well and with common sense the teachings of the online courses, total grazing program, and the adapted genetics and selection guides. Last week, when we started the face-to-face course at their farm, as in there is where we were going to do the practical part of the course, we were able to see how implementing this is working for them. Before this, they had been managing the grazing under selective rotational grazing with a grazing diagram, but the results were not what they expected. After 2 years, the land started to go backwards. And that's why they took this online course. Now they have not only increased grass production, doubled the area stocking rate, and continue to improve their soils, grassland, and genetics, but they also have better quality grass thanks to the fact that by grazing with a very high harvest efficiency, a better leaf to stem ratio is achieved in the regrowth. They also comment that it is much easier to manage the cattle under the total grazing program than under other programs they had followed before. Their goal now, looking ahead, is to get to 1 animal unit per acre in the near future, as they already have doubled their stocking rate since started. They are at 2 acres per animal unit. The area is 4, plus hay, and they do not feed much hay. Before enrolling in the course, they had been implementing holistic type of grazing where the results after 2 years turned negative. I explained to the class that this is because they were using selective grazing and not high harvest efficiency grazing that allows you to maintain the high quality of the grass in the green season and defer large areas of the farm to use in the difficult season. We observed this by visiting the paddocks where they started almost 3 years ago. The soil was spongy and the color of the forages looked green as if it had been fertilized with synthetic nitrogen. Now, we know that the air we breathe is almost 80% nitrogen. We just need to make it available with a spongy soil and healthy soil life. I must point out that the body condition of all their cattle is excellent and in line with my motto, fat cows, fat cows, fat cows. There were students from various parts of the USA, a Uruguayan who has a farm in Paraguay in the dry Chaco region, and 2 gentlemen from Puerto Rico. By the way, they were very friendly and enthusiastic. They also commented to us, Matt and Mark Robbins, that the best quality forage species are being seen in greater proportion. They have a lot of orchard grass coming in. Then they told us that last year was a drought year, and even with the drought, they were not forced to sell animals due to lack of forage. Hay went up in price 3 times around bale, so they are very happy with the total grazing program that allows them to defer paddocks in the green season to use when there is no grass or hay available in the area. We were also able to observe a lot of new plants, seedlings and larger, from the 4 native tall grasses of the North American plains. This is very good since they produce more quantity and quality than introduced grasses. They are little bluestem, big bluestem, Indian grass, and switchgrass. Please remember that young seedlings of our best forage species need time to grow strong roots and not be pulled out with their roots by cattle returning to regraze, which happens under any type of rotational grazing at high stocking rates, which are necessary for maximum productivity and soil health. Regarding adapted genetics, thank God they had been creating a composite with the Machona breed for some time. The Machona has great nutritional adaptation, and we were able to observe excellent animals, especially a pure Machona bull number 488 that I had chosen in Texas as the best of 25 animals when he was a year old. It came as a surprise to find him here, already an adult, mature, and with a very good phenotype for any breed. They didn't know that I had raised him, so I showed them the photograph from when the bull was only 1 year old, and to my surprise, when I called out to him in Spanish, he recognized me and came to sniff my hand. As a comment, all their cattle are very docile, and they approach us instead of running away. I mean, the whole group. And that is a testament to their good management of cattle with very low stress. That is Matt Robbins, who is doing most of that. They have been able to observe that this Machona bull helps them to improve others, another important trait in their cows, because they started like everyone else with Limousin, Gelby, and with Angus cows, all European Bos Taurus, of which they only have 3 animals left, because they do have tall fescue, which can be toxic due to the endophyte fungus that it contains. Machona are very resistant to heat and to this endophyte. So the Machona half-blood herd does not suffer from any problems, and they can have their calving season at the time of the year when the pastures produce in abundance, spring. That means that they're breeding in the hot summer. But Machona can do that without any problem because they have African Bos Taurus genes. They are also doing excellent things on the nutrition side. This was interesting for me. They have been experimenting with giving cattle a special C90 sea salt brine that has gotten rid of pink eye and white scours in calves. I observed their cattle, and they are very healthy and shiny. I observed good vitality in cows, bulls, and calves with very good body condition. The optimum calving season, I suggested that they start a little earlier next year and to gradually move the breeding season 14 days earlier per year so that their cows can take better advantage of the green season, since May would already be late at this latitude and altitude. Now be careful. This can be done as they already have a herd of well-adapted cows with superb genetics and especially with great nutritional adaptation that, as we saw in last week's class or podcast, is a requirement to obtain better results. I want to finish by saying that the Robbins are excellent people, the whole family, with a very good ranch. They are correctly implementing the total grazing program, and they have enviable genetics, since they already export semen from that pure Machona bull to Australia and thus help other ranchers anywhere in the world. If you want to get amazing results, I invite you to my online courses waiting list. Review and summary. Number 1, the results of implementing correctly the total grazing program and adapted genetics with selection guidelines are spectacular. 2, if you want to save on hay or silage thanks to a deferred pasture reserve in area, you must implement these programs. 3, the attendees were surprised that in the green season, the entire herd can be maintained in only 1/3 of the farm area. 4, in general, it is possible to increase the stocking rate, the main determinant of profitability on a farm, to double the first year of implementing the total grazing program. 5, At the same time that the total grazing program is being implemented, I suggest working on the genetics, mainly on the side of the bulls, and begin to improve your cattle, starting with the first calves born. Lands with fat, deep roots will give us fat, high humus soils, which will lead to better nutrition for our livestock, which also will get fat. And if we do it right, it will result in a fat wallet. Well, I hope you like this podcast and you can put it into practice. Thank you, and until next time. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube, or join us for the weekly email at www.rwranching.com/join. Have a great day.